Now to national headlines with a dramatic scene inside an Idaho courtroom where convicted triple murderer Chad Daybell was sentenced to death. Alex Presha joins us with more.
The court is directed that the defendant would be sentenced to death on those counts.
Chad Daybell sat emotionless as a jury of his peers sealed his fate. And this morning, the so-called doomsday author sentenced to death after being convicted in the 2019 murders of his first wife, Tammy Daybell, and his second wife's two children, 16-year-old Tylee Ryan and 7-year-old Joshua J.J. Vallow.
This is the best justice we can possibly get. It brings closure for everybody that's been hurt.
The two children were last seen in September of 2019. Prosecutors say Daybell and his now wife, Lori Vallow, claimed their kids were zombies and conspired with Lori's brother, Alex Cox, to kill them. After nearly 10 months of searching and working the case, investigators found Tylee and JJ's bodies buried in shallow graves in Daybell's backyard in Idaho. Prosecutors say Tammy Daybell died at the hands of another due to asphyxiation. Lori Vallow, who by then was already in custody, was heard talking to Daybell on a jailhouse phone call during the search of his home.
Were they in the house?
No, they're out in the property.
Are they seizing stuff again?
They're searching.
The jury in this case listened to over 60 witnesses, but it took them just about 9 hours to recommend the death penalty. FBI investigator Doug Hart telling us their verdict didn't surprise him.
There are certain cases that just stick with you. This is going to be one of those for you.
Oh, absolutely, both personally and professionally. At the end of the day, there are victims who senselessly were killed, and that loss and that pain is very real for their loved ones and their families. It's very real for us.
FBI investigator Doug Hart tells me yesterday was emotional for his team, some even crying at the news from this jury. And as they left the courthouse, he says they were applauded by the families of the victims. This is closure for them. Alex Presha, ABC News, Columbus, Ohio.